President Trump's personal is now on notice to take all questions on this. The news that broke in just the past hour, former FBI Director James Comey will publicly testify before the Senate as early as next Thursday about those accusations he made regarding President Trump. He said the president pressured him to drop the FBI investigation into Russia and its ties to former NSA Chief Michael Flynn. Now, the White House, as I said, diverting all questions about the matter to outside counsel representing President Trump, but there is a huge entanglement here and legal implications. Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano just rushed in right away. What's your first gut reaction here?
That Jim Comey has been debriefed by the independent counsel, Bob Mueller, who is his friend and former colleague. And Bob Mueller has authorized him to give this testimony, and Mueller is satisfied that Comey is a credible witness who's going to give credible testimony. And the testimony he gives to the Senate Intelligence Committee next Thursday, as you recounted in the intro, will not impair any testimony that Mr. Mueller will need Director Comey to give before a grand jury or in any other forum. Prosecutors don't like their witnesses going around saying what they know. And sometimes prosecutors have locked their witnesses up to prevent that from happening. In this case, the prosecutor, Mueller, is satisfied that the witness, Comey, is safe to make these statements under oath and to be cross-examined by Republicans who are not going to like what they hear.
Well, is there a possibility that Mueller heard what Comey had to say and now says, go ahead, you can say it, let them judge, but is there a chance that Mueller heard it and said, so what? It was just President Trump saying, I think we're done with this NSA thing.
It could very...
Not that that's okay,
correct.
But it could be interpreted in many different ways.
It could very well be. There's also a chance that Bob Mueller, has read Jim Comey's memos of his communications with Donald Trump. Lawyers have a habit. Prosecutors rarely break the habit of making notes after conversations. Jim Comey, it is alleged, kept notes after every conversation with the president. He probably kept them after conversations with President Obama as well, another issue for another time. So it's going to depend on the tone of the language, the context of the language, and the progression of the language, because according to reports in the New York Times, there were 3 conversations between the president and Jim Comey on this subject matter.
What defenses does President Trump have if James Comey gets up there and makes it very clear that the president tried to pressure him to drop this investigation?
Okay, great question. There are 2 defenses. One is it didn't happen. It would be he said, he said. We don't know if these conversations were taped. They surely were not taped by Jim Comey. There'd be issues with that. They may have been taped by some White House taping system. The tape would tell the definitive tale. But let's assume there's no tape. It's he said, he said. Jim Comey says this, President Trump says that. But President Trump has a very interesting legal and constitutional defense. It's got a fancy phrase, and I'll explain it to you. The fancy phrase is the Unitary Executive. It basically means everybody in the executive branch works for him because he is the person answerable to the voters. And when he gives an order, it's their obligation to comply with the order. If they think there's something wrong with the order, their duty is to resign, not to disobey the order.
And Comey did testify earlier that nobody, he testified May 3rd, that nobody has pressured him to drop an investigation.
You know, Comey is going to split some hairs here. He's going to recount the question that was put to him by Senator Hirono, who said, if the Attorney General or the Justice Department asked you to stop an investigation, would that be a problem?
Okay.
She, Senator Hirono, did not include if the president in that question. That will probably be, knowing Jim Comey as sharp as he is, that will probably be his response.
So we're back to semantics. It depends what is.
Not quite that bad, but we are back to semantics.
Thank you.